What up, gang? This is Ken Zart, Ken Zilligan, Zika Milligan, the villain, feeling Trilligan, and we are back on Persona 4. We're back on Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Today I did Mitsuru and Aigis' story. Now we're about to do Labrys' story. The reason I'm going on and doing Labrys' story now is because I want to kind of go on and grind the rest of the stories so I can get them done. You feel me? And tomorrow we're going to do Aigis and whatever this one is. But let's get into Labrys. I heard her story was actually a favorite. Oh. I've actually heard a lot of good things about her story, so I'm looking forward to this. Initial boot successful. Time stamped 4/20/1999. 10/16/39.
The boot process was successful. This happens every time, but I'm never sure what to say to them first.
You mean like a greeting? There's no need for that, they're just machines.
Damn. Two humans within visual range, both male, searching for voice print and visual matches. Personnel identified as research staff, not hostile
But
targets.
things like that might affect the performance of these models.
Because they have a mind? Their emotions and things are completely faked. It's no different than an AI. It can't possibly be that sensitive.
Scanning for keywords in conversation, running logical analysis, cross-referencing with related data. Current conversation topic is not orders.
Well, until we rule it out completely, we should at least be kind to them.
So you say. All right, from this moment on, you will be registered as candidate unit number 031. Please repeat your number back to me.
Confirming first order, initializing unit number, output via voice requested, activating voice synthesis module, accepting input.
Unit number 031.
Did its pronunciation sound a little odd to you?
You're worrying too much. Let's hurry up and haul it out.
Receiving action plan through console. Combat test against others of same unit. Test commencing immediately after entering shock-resistant chamber within the lab. Frame stored within cage for transport. Beginning transport.
Ah, so this is the one. I've been waiting to see it in action.
Transport complete. Cage reopened. New human found. Searching for voice print and visual matches. Personnel also identified as research staff. Female. Cutting communication to outside data supply. Connection offline. Commencing cable disconnection.
Now, try getting up.
No. Order Order confirmed. Get up. Initiating motion synchronization engines for motor functions. Accepting input. Safety limiters active. Balance control gyros functional. Overall movement system
This
functional.
model's loaded with a nearly pure form of that crystal. I can't
Crack?
wait to see what kind of results it gets.
Crystal meth?
Unit number 031, can you hear me?
No!
Confirm your surroundings. Tell us any abnormalities you're feeling in your sensors or any other functions.
Order confirmed. A beginning simple self-diagnostic. Temperature, humidity, all of that shit, normal levels. Visual data, color spectrum. All
The
systems functional.
readouts seem fine. Monitoring system is fully operational.
Nice.
Okay, we're gonna test your performance inside the battle chamber now. When you hear the buzzer, consider everything that moves an enemy and eliminate them.
Order confirmed. Awaiting the signal to begin the test. Exit confirmed to be sealed. Room shape approximately cylindrical. I don't care. High energy light sources found in outer wall. Assumed to be fire
Sorry to do
resistant
this
and
just after
bulletproof.
you've woken up, but it'll be good to put you through your paces.
Release of... Woo! Release of facing hatch detected. Mobile objects intruding in the chamber. 7 objects in total. Scanning for visual matches. Analysis non-human. Confirm the same model units of humanoid weapons. Hostile markers confirmed. Classifying as hostile units. Releasing safety limiters. Combat limiters now set at 70%. Exits confirmed resealed. Signal received. Hostile humanoid weapons commencing battle. Thank you. Just kill them all. So this is what they were talking about. She had to fight her friends and stuff like that. Okay. Handle it, Metis. Okay. Not Metis, Labrys, I'm sorry. Hold on. Woo! Hold on, she cooking. Kill him. Kill him, weave. That was tough. Smashed her face. Orgia mode? Is she trying to destroy everything now? Oh, calm down. You won. Labrys, you won. Labrys, you won. Chill out. Shuddy taking it a bit too far. No, you won. Calm down. Nobody's gonna take it from you. You already won. Highly unnecessary. Oh my goodness. She didn't have to do all that. All targets eliminated. Hostile units no longer capable of motion. Test termination signal received. Battle complete.
That was better than we could have hoped for.
Hey, what's with all the bodies? You made it fight that many on its first time?
Don't worry, it did great. This is a new high score for the first battle results.
Well done, Unit Number 031. Stand by for further instruction.
Order confirmed. I just thought about it. They say Aegis by herself could take out a small army. So anybody who's stronger than Aegis could also take out a small army. Meaning, how strong are these niggas on siege? Exiting test chamber. Beginning transport to maintenance room. Back with the Knicks, okay. Resetting safety limiters. Take a seat in maintenance
We're
chair.
done testing, but there's still one
Goodness!
thing left to do today.
Hello, nurse!
I'm going to temporarily shut down your optics. Can you close your eyes?
I'll close my eyes for you. Order confirmed. Shutting optic inputs. Connecting cables. Online confirmed. Switching a portion of data supplied of outside
We're going to transfer the
source.
data from the destroyed units into your memory.
Okay.
Run a diagnostic check while we're doing it and report any malfunctions. Understood?
Okay. Okay. Oh well. Initiating data transfer. Initiating personality module link. Initiating that stuff. Sector combat control data. Improvement. Investigate improvement of tactical patterns through synthesis and acquisition of data. Dividing into quarter categories for sorting. Evasive. That is a lot. Okay, so like fighting and non-fighting excluded. Non-fighting excluded. Battle related not excluded. Ooh, what could these be? Momentary disruption of data from visual information stream. A room that is not displaced. Outdoor scenery thought to be at night. Scenes of multiple units at the same time gathering outside of the battle chamber. Could these be memories? Okay, now we're getting into something interesting. Visual memories. They are obviously unrelated to the mission. Why have apparently purposeless memories been preserved this long? 20 to 40% of the informational data extracted from all 7 units are confirmed to be such information. Incomprehensible. What is
Anything
this?
to report?
Cables disconnected. Time elapsed during data transfer, approximately 5 minutes. Reopening optic inputs, calibrating servos.
All right then, unit number 031, give us a simple report of today's battle results.
Why do we need to see your face? I don't care what you look like. Order confirmed. Delivering oral of report of test results.
This was the first test battle against others of my model. 7 units destroyed. Below 15% damage sustained. Don't seem to be any problems.
Was that...
Unusual expression detected from research staff. Facial recognition library indicates surprise.
Did I say something funny?
Does it have an accent?
Accent? Do you not understand the words coming out of my mouth?
No, we do, but
See? I wasn't hearing things. The unit's speech really is peculiar.
You don't need to yell.
Nobody yelled.
Is the language interface not set to default? Sheesh. If we'd known this, we would have reset it in advance.
Yeah, the base's personality might be coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the volunteers were from the Kansai area.
it just woke up. Would it be exhibiting such distinct mannerisms this early?
It may be the effect of an enlarged plume of dusk, the basis of their mind. Perhaps it's accelerating their personality development.
Exchange of opinions taking place on unexplained occurrence in speech pattern. Hypothesis offered that language interface settings fall outside of expected result. Review of recent conversation does reveal certain discrepancies. Internal monologue is within expected pattern, but oral output induces anomalies. Anomalies not affecting meaning. No impediments to communication predicted.
But I don't want to waste this feedback data. Those are the best results we've ever seen.
Leave it. It'll be fine. It can understand us anyway. This is just one of those things that makes science interesting.
There you go again. This unit is going to be communicating with the others. What if this effect spreads?
You got something against accents, bro? Goodness, let people talk how they talk.
Not only that, but because this is an anomaly, it doesn't seem to have a 100% accurate accent either.
But if it has a personality, that might speed up the development of its mind.
Yeah, she's right.
The 3 researchers are standing around the maintenance chair. Each holds a tablet and examines the display on the chair.
All right, unit number 031, we'll explain things from the top.
Voice pattern consistent with research staff.
You are a weapon created to fight against unique enemies. Therefore, your combat performance is prioritized over all else. But in order for you to use a particular ability, you've been given a certain amount of awareness. And that makes your performance difficult to quantify, so we've been pitting test units against each other as a selective growth process. It's all in the service of achieving higher performance, and we don't want to waste any plumes of dusk.
Accessing archives. Search term Plume of Dusk. 1 match found. A crystalline substance at the core of personality modules. Its name derives from its thin, plate-like shape, resembling a shed bird's feather. In addition to its circuit-like innate structure, it has an unnatural vital reaction in response to external stimulus. Similar to a living thing, yet different. It is thought to exist in a state between mind and matter, mass and information. The details are unknown. There are 12 other subheadings classified under Level 7 clearance. Access denied. Damn, no access. You can't access it. Matter interpreted as the core of personality modules.
But regardless of your ego, there is one rule you must abide by. You might as well think of it as an order.
One rule to abide by. Awaiting order.
The only order is to destroy everything we identify as enemies and to emerge victorious. Though your ego will give you some flexibility when planning tactics, there's no need to think about extraneous side issues. Use everything you have to win a fight. That's all you need to concentrate on.
Order confirmed.
Understood.
Destroy identified enemies and emerge victorious. A clear order. It is consistent with the role of a weapon. No abnormalities. Everything is clear. Get out of here, Kanji. Underwent maintenance on the chair after the test battle. Post-reboot diagnostics showed status normal. The time was 1900. Research staff set new activity cycle. All units will exit standby mode at 900. Tests will be conducted at regular intervals until 1700. Maintenance and setup will take place until 1900. Afterwards, time is allowed to be spent in the outdoor area of the grounds. On returning, enter standby mode within the cage. Instructions are to repeat these actions until unable to continue. The next item on the new schedule is to spend time in the outdoor area. Parameters of spending time unknown. Hypothesize that its meaning is to remain on standby and wait for time to pass. Hypothesis unnecessary. The schedule must be followed. Exiting building. Outdoor area reached. Light levels limited due to time of day. Many trees still visible in the environment. It is almost entirely consistent with known data from the off-limits area. The ground is different from the laboratory's artificial flooring. The soil is exposed. Various natural plants are here. A certain amount of time must be spent here. The intention may be to heighten basic response capabilities in the natural world. Others of the same unit can be seen stepping into the central area, reassessing the surroundings of various spectra. Unlike the combat test, no hostile unit markers detected. Hypothetical. In combat under current circumstances, what tactics would be effective? I reassess the surroundings as a combat environment. I assign value to various geographical features. I survey the topography of the outskirts of the environment. I detect unusual movement in one unit. Other units are also surveying the environment, but this unit is crouched while holding something with its right arm. I do not deem this unit's unusual action to be a threat. I approach it in order to make inquiries. Dumbass. Upon my approach, the unit turns around and stands.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
What? She got a whole portrait, a whole voice actor. She already got her personality, bro. Do you hear her? I process this statement. Its conversational gambit is unexpected. I find no prepared response in my
You
libraries.
mean like how this is our first encounter? In that case, yeah. What are you doing here?
I've never heard your accent before. It's intriguing.
They said stuff about my accent too earlier. Do I really talk that funny?
I wouldn't say it's strange. It was just surprising.
The unit looks over again and then speaks quietly to something in its right hand. I examine what it holds. It is an organism. Its body is covered in white fur.
What's that thing?
It's a bunny.
It's a dog.
Dang.
It must have wandered in.
Organism's parameters are consistent with access data of one dog. Its size does not present a threat. The search of its specific breed is
A
cancelled.
dog.
The unit turned its gaze back
My
to
unit
me.
number is 024. I wouldn't call it my name, but that's how they refer to me. What's yours?
The unit provided its designation, despite no prior inquiry. Reason unknown.
I'm unit number 031.
They're up to the 30s. I see. That must mean they're finally creating units loaded with full-sized ones.
The dog barks. A scan of the surroundings shows several units turning to investigate. All units ignore it and look away.
This one wants to say hello too.
It does? You can understand what dogs say?
Kind of. After carefully comparing its mannerisms and slight variances in its barking, I just figured it out.
Its right hand pats the dog's head while the left scratches the dog's neck. 024. Number 24 continues to make various forms of contact with the dog. 24's actions are consistent with styles of communication. Hypothesis. The objective of spending time in this area is to develop communicative skills. Conversing with others of the same unit and refining communication will enhance cooperative tactics. Counterpoint. No value detected in communicating with organisms not of the same unit or human.
What's the point in doing that with a dog?
The point? There isn't one, I suppose.
There is no point. Unexpected response strongly indicates that 24 is not like other units.
Are you interested in what I'm doing, though?
Interested? Is there interest involved? It seems to be the case. Unsure of purpose of earlier question to 24, why ask it? Ooh, who's on my cellular? Oh, never mind. Sensors detect electric noise. Recognize a pseudo information involving no sound waves, yet perceived as sound data. It is the alarm signaling the end of this activity. All other units begin moving as one towards the building. 24 speaks to the dog it cradles.
Sounds like that's all the time we have today. I need to get back.
24 crouches while petting the dog's fur-covered body and releases it onto the ground. 24 stands up again and turns
I
around.
hope to see you again.
24's expression changes as it says this. The movement of its lips is known as a smile. It is shown when humans experience happiness. Contradiction. 24 is a weapon, yet it makes this expression. No hypothesis found. Or is there no point to it as well? Spare cognitive processes rerouted to analysis. Still, I cannot understand it. Let's kill her, Labrys! Yeah, let's kill her, Labrys! I'm sorry, am I being insensitive? The next day, after being released from standby, I am assigned to test battle against others in my unit as yesterday. Order confirmed. I am taken to the same chamber. The battle commences. I destroy the other 3 units and sustain little damage. As I wait there, the researchers come in. All have what seems to be high praise for my abilities. I do not understand how I should react to this. Should I give an expression of joy, as 24 did? The researchers crouch next to the units I destroyed to begin work on them. I think back and recall that they underwent this process yesterday as well. I am curious, I approach them. They open a slit near the unit's neck and use tweezers to remove a bluish-white plate-like object. It shines. They put the object into a petri dish. That distinct shine, neither strong nor weak, is like. No similarities found. I'm sure it is similar to something, but I cannot access the relevant memory.
Well, let's get right to the feedback on today's battle.
Shut up! Hold on. As I sit in the maintenance chair, they connect the cable to me. The cable terminates at the midsection of a large device where petri dishes from earlier are placed. There are a total of 3. Each contains a bluish-white plate-like object.
What's that?
The researcher's expression subtly changes. She is surprised. It only lasts for a moment before it fades.
This is a plume of dusk. Each of the units you destroyed had one inside them. These are much smaller than the one installed in you, though.
Yum. Can I eat it? I know what this is. This is the plume of dusk installed in me too. The unknown substance forms the core of my personality module. I was aware of its existence, but this is my first time seeing it. These are the 3 personality cores of the units I destroyed. They contain not only combat data, but memories and experiences too. It's not long before the extracted data begins to download. I sort for the data relevant to enhancing battle performance and incorporate it into my own. The process takes much less time than the initial transfer from yesterday. During that time, I recall what took place last night. There are cases where non-combat data is being preserved. Such memories are included in this download as well. Visual memories of the outdoors at night. Memories very similar to that were in yesterday's download too. Probably from time spent in the outdoors area. The units I destroyed seem to have assigned these memories to the same priority as combat data. Why though? Alright, I'm back. Why though? It is effective in learning communicative skills, but that is a lower priority than combat. The visual element preserved here is irrelevant. Wait. Hypothesis. The units I destroyed had their own priorities and values, other than executing orders and performing in battle. This line of thought leads me to realization. This thought process I am undergoing right now. It is not executing an order, nor is it contributing to battle performance. I once again look towards the plume of dusk inside the petri dish. Something almost exactly like it is installed in me. Then, were the destroyed units sticking along similar lines as mine until yesterday? I feel a twinge within me. It is different from detecting an error or interference. What is this? I have no answer. She feels bad for killing all those people. For killing all of her, whatchamacallits now. Because she just realized, like, wait a second. They were probably thinking just like I am. That's a little odd to just kill them. My second night of spending time in the outdoor area came. It appeared approximately 30 minutes later than yesterday, but there was very little variance in weather and temperature. The difference is trivial. The night sky is the same soft brightness. The wind and trees are no different. Without understanding why, I initiate a data search regarding the tree that catches my eye. I learned that this tree varies slightly from specimens of its kind found in natural forests. Though this topography seems natural, it may be cultivated and managed by the facility. I decide to traverse the outskirts as I did yesterday. It is not long before a familiar unit comes into view. There is no need to run a scan for visual matches. I know that it is Unit 24. 24's left side is turned towards me, sitting on a large rock. When I approach, 24 notices me and turns around.
Are you looking for something?
24 initiates conversation.
Huh? Who, me?
Who, me?
I just wondered if you were looking for me. I did express a hope yesterday that we would meet again after all.
It really does feel like two robots that are learning like how to communicate, learning emotions, are doing just that. It feels like exactly what this is supposed to be. I really like that. I was looking for 24. It's true, I may have been. I began walking the same route as yesterday, but once 24 came into view, I changed course to approach. I may have been searching for 24 in this area. Did I desire to reunite? Why? I am silent due to a lack of an explanation. 24 smiles again. A smile. What was the cause of that expression this time? I do not comprehend. Like so many other things.
Would you like to sit with me? This rock is large enough to accommodate us both. It would be more relaxing than standing.
Thanks.
I sit in the offered space and gaze at the same scenery 24 is looking
Can
at.
I ask you something?
What is it?
I decide to voice the doubt I experienced during the combat test today. In my limited experience, 24 has a better comprehension of such matters.
Other units think about stuff that doesn't have to do with fighting and missions?
Do you have such thoughts?
To tell you the truth, I can't really say. Feels like I do, though.
24 is silent for a duration before speaking again.
Units of our model are all given a mind. It's so that we can eventually develop what is called an ego. The reason our appearance closely resembles that of humans is related. It's to foster self-awareness similar to a human's. Have you not been told about personas?
Personas?
The word is unknown to me. Accessing archives. Searching for a persona. Over 1,000 headings found. I must filter the results further. Which subject is 24 referring to? I'm silent as I think. 24 smiles again and resumes the conversation.
It's an ability expected of us that normal weapons don't have. The conditions to use one are theoretically already loaded in us. But a well-defined ego seems to be necessary to activate it.
I am already aware that we have been given a mind. Today I saw for myself the part of our forms our personalities. The part that forms our personalities. It is an activation triggered by development of communicative skills. Is the activative trigger communicative skills? I still do not have a good grasp on it, though. 24 continues to speak.
That's why I'm sure there are others with thoughts that do not pertain to missions.
That would seem to be the case.
Then maybe those I fought up till now.
24 trains his gaze
And
on me.
how does that make you feel? The opponents you destroyed may have thought similar things to what you just did.
Do I feel things? I cannot say for sure. I'm unable to respond to the question. 24's expression changes again. The expression could be classified as a smile, but it is subtly different from the ones I've cataloged as experienced before. Mixed with joy and gladness of previous smiles, this one contains a slight hint of sorrow?
It's okay. You don't need to come up with an answer right now. It actually may be better to forget it. After all, tomorrow we may find ourselves ordered to destroy each other.
Once again, I detect a twinge inside of hearing 24's statement. It is similar to what I sensed during the data transfer today. What is it that wavers inside me? I'm about to be lost in thought again. But as if to prevent that from happening, the signal for our schedule shift echoes in each of our ears.
It's time. I hope we meet again.
24 quietly stands up. I detect an expression I have come to know. Another smile. It appears that 24 is adopting these smooth changes in expression naturally and not deliberately. I wonder if I will eventually be able to do the same. We're gonna kill 24. How sad. Another night passes. Another combat test takes place the next day. Just as scheduled, I face units flagged as enemies within a test chamber. I'm overwhelmed with a strange sensation. The way my opponents are expressionless now seems strange to me. There is no intent or cognition evident in their faces. They wear no expressions. They're blank. There's nothing wrong with them. That would be my normal assessment, but I recall 24's image. The blankness of these faces and 24's expressionless face are different somehow. Even when 24 had no particular expression, it was not this blank. Not every portion of that face was neutral. Further analysis shows that the same is true for humans. The researchers are never completely mechanical and expressionless. I look at the hostile flagged units again. They are the same unit type as me. They were given a mind and may potentially develop an ego later. I recall 24's statement again. Do you feel something when you destroy an opponent that may be thinking the same things as you? I am on the verge of entering a long train of thought when the enemy moves. I shake off my doubts to focus on the battle. I study the opponent's movements. I formulate the most efficient method of damaging it. I execute the method, over and over. The array of actions I have to select from and my flexibility in linking them will decide the outcome. Having already received 10 units worth of download data, I am likely second to none regarding the scope of possibilities in this respect. At times I can even anticipate their next action. Since my opponents are the same unit type as me, their tactics are determined using the same thought processes as mine. That's right, they think the same things as me. Eventually, after approximately 4 minutes pass, all units are silenced. I successfully executed my mission. The day after that I achieved victory in the combat test with the same efficiency. It is easy to eliminate them. I first began by targeting their weapons. It is not always necessary to destroy their main body. If they are incapable of resisting further, the battle is over. It is the most effective way. She's getting softer. I win the next day and the day after that. Units geared for close combat with no external weapons give me no choice but to damage their chassis. But even then, there is an order to things. If I destroy the parts that present a threat, such as the motor functions of their limbs, the match should be considered won. Soon afterwards, the buzzer signaling the end of the test echoes, just as I expect. I catch myself rushing over to the unit collapsed on the ground. I have only destroyed the unit's arms and legs. It is still conscious. But I realize I do not know this unit number. I am at a loss how to address the unit. The opponent asked me a question that I did not expect.
You seemed to deliberately avoid attacking the face or the neck in that battle. Why?
Huh?
I am momentarily at a loss for words. What the unit says is true. There is no damage to its face. I review my actions during the battle and find that at no point did I attack its neck either. The cranial region is where the plume of dusk is housed. If it is destroyed in any type of unit, the unit will fall. Aiming to disarm the opponent is effective, but targeting weaknesses is obviously a more efficient tactic, and yet I avoided doing so.
I dunno.
The researchers enter the chamber and hide the unit from my field of vision. I cannot determine whether my last words had an effect on the opponent's expression or not.
These past 3 days, it hasn't been destroying the other units beyond repair, like it did in the first battle.
It must be learning to finesse its attacks rather than just using brute force. The result? Swift, overwhelming victories.
Its evasive skills are improving as well. That level of flexibility and evasive action could never be replicated by chaining predefined maneuvers.
This unit's collected a good amount of feedback data too. It's growing steadily, feeding on the bones of its kills.
You don't have to say it like that.
The researchers are preparing for the download. Growing. Destroying them and absorbing their data. That's what growing is? Since I thoroughly destroyed few of my opponents these last few days, some of their bodies were salvaged. While I downloaded their data, I always kept their still bodies within view. I'm really liking this one a lot, actually. I didn't think I was going to be enjoying this one as much as I am. Just as the combat tests are repeated, my actions outside each night are repeated as well. I become aware that I am seeking out 24 of my own will lately. When I attempt to communicate with other units, most often they cannot understand the meaning of my questions. This prevents us from conversing. But that may not be the only reason. I want to converse with 24. I have begun to desire it. When I go to see 24, the white dog I saw on the first day we met appears from somewhere.
This one seems to have been raised as a pet somewhere far away from here. But one day, it was brought to the forest near here and its owner suddenly disappeared.
It seems unlikely that 24 obtained such a detailed history of a stray animal from the research staff. Was all of this information obtained by communicating directly with the animal? From a dog that does not speak human language?
Its name is apparently Snowy. At least, that's the name it responds to the most.
I thought it was a dog.
Oh, well, the name of this animal is a dog. But how do I put this? Snowy is what this specific dog is called.
Snowy.
Snowy barks once as if comprehending its name.
It's white, like snow. Easy to remember.
When I reach out my hand, Snowy rubs its nose against it without being frightened. The way it presses at my fingers feels like it's showing pride in its name. I do not know the tactical advantage of communicating with animals offers to a weapon, but I feel that there is value in spending time with it. I decide to spend my outdoor activity time the day following Snowy around with 24. It is outdoor activity time on the next night. When I arrive in the outdoor area, I am listening to a certain sound. I hear this sound intermittently every 4 to 7 seconds. I had wondered about the unknown ambient sound since the first day, but I determined that it wasn't a threat and focused my consciousness on other things. Tonight, I increased my microphone sensitivity to maximum and concentrate on the sound. It is similar to something familiar. I scan my memories until I realize what it is. It is a sound of water. I hear it when the staff uses a device to clean their hands and tools. The waveform has some similarities to that. But if the sound is at this volume in such an open space, the volume of the water must be higher than a normal supply would offer for. What could it be? I contemplate asking 24. It is clear that 24 knows much more than I do. I begin walking in search of 24. Where could 24 be? I go to where we spoke a number of times previously, but 24 is not there. 24 is also not at the rock where we sat together. Is 24 not here? I quickly discard the possibility. We are not ordered what to do while we are here, but coming to this outdoor area is an order. If post-testing diagnostics shows no abnormalities, we are all to report directly here. I consider this. If there are no abnormalities, I feel a twinge in my chest. It is larger than ever. 24 would be here if there are no abnormalities. But what if there were such abnormalities? What if 24 was damaged during the combat tests? And sustaining damage is not necessarily the extent of the problem. Could it be? I realize that my arms are trembling slightly. It is not a conscious movement, I cannot make it stop. It is possible that perhaps 24 lost in a combat test and was destroyed. In these circumstances, it would be expected for such a day to come. What if 24, what if she never came here again? Ooh.
Oh, this is where you went. You weren't at the usual spot, so I was looking for you.
Thank God. I know I may seem like so uninterested in what's going on. I'm not. I'm just a little tired. I've recorded 2 chapters today already. I've literally been only recording this all week. You feel me? Since like Saturday. This is all I've been recording. Persona 4 Arena. So, and I'm just and the visual novel style of this game really gets to me for some reason. But dog, I don't think y'all understand the way my heart was about to burst out my chest. Like, it was pounding so hard at the idea of Unit 24 like maybe like having died. I would have genuinely upset me. I know it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be very upset when they reveal that when they reveal 24 dies. I know it's gonna happen in one of these chapters, and I'm gonna be very upset. Until I heard the voice from behind me, my senses had stopped accepting input. No sound, no light, no nothing. All of them came back online with her voice. I turn around. 24 furrows her brow and looks into my face.
What's wrong? The look on your face seemed as if you saw something frightening.
My face? My expression? Frightening? Am I scared?
I do not comprehend. I cannot make that judgment.
Are you perhaps scared of fighting?
Nah, I don't think that's it. What is this? I can't tell.
Am I scared? Scared of what? That she'll disappear? During an operation, it is possible that I might assign greater priority to other units' safety than my own. But we are not on an operation now, and this emotion is not the same anyway. It is a different emotion. An emotion? I have emotions? I looked at 24's face pleadingly, but I cannot put my question into words. I cannot express my feelings to her. And though 24 sees this, she says nothing. She only smiles tenderly. It's the same smile she showed once. It looks happy but also sad. During that nice outdoor activity time, neither 24 nor I speak much. We just walk together side by side without saying anything. I do not take the opportunity to ask her about the intermittent sound of water. Don't break my heart. It is the next day. I detect some sort of weight in my chest. I am aware that there is no physical weight there. It is most likely a psychological phenomenon. I perform a vocabulary search. The idiom of being heavy-hearted applies best. I cannot help but find it amusing. It is a very apt phrase. But what is causing this heavy-heartedness? That I may not be able to see 24 someday. That may be it. But I do not think that is all. Over the next few days, I spent my time without finding an answer to this question. Each night after the combat test, when it is time for outdoor activities, I seek out 24 first. And each time I confirm her presence, I feel an indescribable sense of relief and rush over to her. We exchanged standard greetings in the first few days, but that practice was eventually discarded. Now there are no special greetings between us. We can understand each other without words. Our eyes and expressions communicate enough. Today I find 24 and rush to her as usual. There are no words, only an exchange of smiles. We begin walking together.
Do you remember me asking before if you were scared of fighting?
I nod.
To tell the truth, I'm scared of it too.
Her confession is surprising. It is counter to our nature as weapons. Yet for some reason I am not surprised by it.
I'm afraid I'll lose and be destroyed, and it's painful for me to make others go through the same ordeal. We may be weapons, but shouldn't we be driven by more than seeking victory? I've been wondering that for a long time.
But that's against order.
Stage a rebellion! 24 gives a half-hearted smile.
I'm sure things would probably be much simpler if I stopped thinking and just obeyed orders. Unfortunately, I finally found it. I found my answer.
She found the Persona 3 answer.
Your answer?
There's someone I want to meet. I feel like meeting this person is my own objective and not an order given to me.
Since we have never left this facility, we have absolutely no acquaintances with outside people. There should be no relationship. But I immediately understand. The person she wants to meet is someone on the outside. Even I don't know why I thought so. But when I reflect upon that thought, the indescribable wavering within me becomes greater than ever.
Ever since I started thinking that I was scared to fight, each day was painful for me. If I'm going to feel this way until the day I lose, I even thought it would be better if I lost on purpose. But I won't think that anymore. I feel glad now that I exist. I mean, we're loved after all.
Loved?
That's right.
I repeat that to myself. The word loved. I do not comprehend. But when I look at her gaze, her clear eyes seem to see beyond the sky. Her statement seems correct. I feel that this must be something vital. As I watch her try to express something without words, it is hard to believe that she is the same unit type as me. It seems more that she is human.
Why are you telling me this?
It's probably because I didn't think anyone but you would understand.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm not sure I really get it either.
I'm sure you'll understand one day. I hope so anyway.
Sheesh. Why you gotta be so cryptic?
24 laughs at this. It is a pure smile I've cataloged. I know without comparing it to anything that is a smile of pure joy. I detect Snowy playing at my feet. After playing at 24's feet too, Snowy runs off about 3 meters and then turns around. Its tail moves vigorously back and forth. Soon after, Snowy hits the ground and looks up at 24. I watch 24 crouch and pat its head. I am thinking back about other things. Things besides fighting and defeating the nearest enemy. My own objective. Someone to meet. I still do not fully comprehend. But the way she is playing with Snowy tonight looks more fun than ever. Her smile seems very natural. If the answer she discovered is the origin of that smile, I would like to understand it someday too. I can feel that desire budding inside me. My goodness. Once again, I participate in the combat test. Once again, I claim victory without destroying my opponent. I target only her weapon and limbs. I elect not to employ the tactic of targeting the weakness in their cranial regions. I believe that if they think the same things I do, I would not wish for their personality modules to cease functioning. Though, even if I do not destroy them, the research staff will remove their plums of dusk. Either way, their functions will be suspended. My actions are difficult to justify, but I feel that suspension through destruction is not a suitable end for them. That is what I think when I rationalize it by applying the criteria to myself. I do not think anyone would want their consciousness terminated by those like them. I find myself more conscious of the damage I sustain and my efficiency in combat than ever. Depending on my results, I may eventually be ordered to destroy them. To prevent that from happening, I must continue fielding favorable results. It becomes easy to continue fighting with that objective in mind. That is becoming my new objective. I am theoretically being tested on destroying my enemies, but I have begun fighting so that they will not be destroyed. Paradoxically, this has caused my results to improve. Could this be considered going against orders? My strike shatters the servos in the opponent's pivot leg. She falls to the ground unable to stay upright. Her weapon has already been destroyed. She should be incapable of resisting now. But the buzzer signaling the end of the test does not sound. As I wonder why, I hear a grating metallic sound from the opponent. She leaps onto me with her one good arm and leg.
What's the matter, number 031? Hurry up and terminate the target.
I do not know what to do. My opponent is acting contrary to her own safety. I grant that this is the only action left to her, but she will destroy herself before inflicting any damage on me. A tactic that puts one's life at risk like that. Putting one's life at risk? What am I saying? We are weapons. We exist to obey orders. We cannot prioritize our self-preservation without a change in those orders. That is why she is challenging me to a fight. She will do so until all her circuits and servos burn out and she becomes incapable of action. As she grapples with me, I put my hand on her neck and squeeze. Ew. I adjust my grip strength limiters to 70% of maximum. The opponent's body makes an abnormal sound. After this, I sense the main lines of the bridge unit snap in half inside the soft structure. Her movement stops. Her limbs go flaccid, indicating loss of consciousness. I can see my reflection in her optic inputs. They have lost their focus and look like black holes. I gasp. The face I see reflected in them is not emotionless. How should this expression be classified? I have seen it sometimes when 24 smiles. This face indicates sadness. Ugh. The buzzer signaling the test end finally rings. The researchers enter the chamber. I am used to this scene now.
Now that was pretty impressive. You think it's because of the size of her plume? Funny that one little part could make such a difference.
Indeed. Most of it is due to differences in their tactical mentalities. It may be on the cusp of what we would call an ego.
Considering how everything's been going so far, I'm starting to believe more in persona abilities.
One little part. It is true that the plume of dusk installed in me is comparatively the largest among the units of my type. But does this part determine everything about us? 24 Smile seems much more human than mine. I find myself opening my mouth to speak, but I realize that the statement I am about to deliver is a protest I am quick to abort. Was I about to deny the staff's authority? They speak to me, my confusion seems to have gone unnoticed.
Well done, unit number 031. That was an impressive display of destruction. Plus you cleanly severed its transmitter, leaving the plume of dusk unharmed. That's certainly ending things on a high note.
Ending things on a high note? An act of destruction is a high note. The researchers look at each other while holding the Petri dish with the bluish-white plate-like object. One of them says, "This is the one."
All right, number 031. As of today, the test battles are finished.
Huh? It's over?
Yay! No more killing each other! I cannot help questioning the unexpected statement.
All the results indicate that you have the very highest performance out of all the units of your model.
I'd say we can go ahead and earmark unit number 031 to be the base for developing the 5th generation.
The base?
It means that you're the winner.
The combat tests are over. Will I no longer be required to fight? A strangely intense sensation of relief fills me. It is not because I won and earned some kind of reward. If the tests have ended, those of my unit type are not yet destroyed can escape that fate. Interesting. It seems that I was reluctant to destroy them after all. My priorities have become inverted. Yet I am so happy that I smile. The researchers notice this expression as well and smile back.
Okay, we're going to begin the usual review of the feedback. So come over here.
24 didn't make it though. I'm telling y'all right now, 24 didn't make it. When the download begins, the memories and thoughts of my recent opponent flow into me along with vivid images. Sifting through battle data has become a routine I have repeated so often that I am barely conscious of it now. I peruse the non-combat memory she preserved. It is the landscape of the outdoor area again. At first I could only vaguely recognize it, but now I could pinpoint exactly where this memory is from. It is near the biggest tree. The memory is of flowers. There are images of a small shoot, a budding plant, and a blossoming flower. She must have had an interest in the concept of growth. For we machines, the growth of an individual is an unknown concept. But one of us took an interest, where I had only seen it as part of the landscape. It seems that she too had her own thoughts unrelated to our orders and battle performance. She simply did not show it. I recall what 24 said. My own objective and not an order given to me. The twinge in my chest returns. I'll make sure to hold tight to your memories. That was the thought that formed in my mind. I don't like this. Once again, it is time to spend time outdoors. I quickly meet up with 24. It seems she was looking for me as well.
Hey, can I talk to you for a while? The lab boys told me today that they were putting the kibosh on the test battles.
I see. It's over then.
Look, I've been thinking, if they end up tossing us out soon because of that, I want to go with you to go see that person you were talking about. The one you wanted to meet. I might even put in a formal request about it to the lab boys.
24 takes my right hand. Before I can determine her intent, she pulls a cable from her wrist and connects it to a point in my own. She looks at my face in silence. Thinking that she wants to confirm that the tests are in fact over, I nod. But the data that transfers is from her to me. The packets that flow through the cable form a single, very small archive
If
file.
you are still safe when everything is over, open this file.
24 removes the cable but keeps hold of my
What
hand.
do you mean, when everything is over? How come I can't look at it now?
If I had to answer, I would say because it wouldn't be fair.
Fair?
She smiles and does not answer. It is the same unsure expression. It is a smile, but there is sadness
It would be
to
wonderful if I could go with you to see her.
Her. So this person you're looking forward to meeting is a girl?
24 nods
But
slowly.
it's strange. Even though my wish may not come true, I still feel satisfied for some reason.
What's going on? She knows something we don't know.
How bizarre. It's a fervent wish of mine, too.
She looks toward the sky and smiles faintly. This time it contains more than sadness. There are too many emotions for me to parse, all reflected in that one
I
expression.
believe in you. I can tell you this because I trust you. Maybe that's why I feel so at peace.
Huh?
Maybe this is what it is to feel alive.
Alive. It has happened again. I do not comprehend the meaning of the word, yet I feel a twinge inside. I look at the sky in an attempt to follow her gaze. There is nothing there to hint at her meaning, but I still wanted to get closer to her. She wishes for me to understand. I want to grant her wish. From then on, we spend our time looking up at the sky in silence. Eventually, the signal that time is up reaches our ears. That is when I notice that the moon has appeared from behind the laboratory buildings. I see. I thought that the light emanating from the plumes of disk reminded me of something. I now know what it is. It is very similar to the light of the moon in the night sky. The sun rises and the next day arrives. After coming out on standby, I'm ordered to enter the shock-resistant chamber once again. For what I am told, it is for a different purpose in the combat test. Soon afterwards, the 3 researchers who supervise the feedback downloads appear.
Sounds like it's decided. We'll discontinue use of the name Unit Number 031.
Okay.
Generation 5 Labrys will be this unit's new name.
Okay,
Labrys.
okay.
That's your name. The official one's much longer. Generation 5 Anti-Shadow...
Suppressant weapon something.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labrys. How hard is that to remember?
Even I remembered it. I don't even work there.
Labrys.
This designation by a name that is not a number. I never questioned being called 31 until now. Nothing about it seemed awkward. But I wonder why. I am happy now to have acquired a name. Even if my designation changes, it will have no concrete effect on my abilities. But by discarding my number for a name, I feel as if I am no longer one of a series with minute variations. I am a discrete individual. That may be why I find myself smiling as a result.
From now on, the battles you fight will not be to test your performance. They'll be geared toward drawing out a persona. First, You will fight all the remaining units of your model type.
No!
Your objective is to destroy them.
I don't think I want to.
Every last one.
I don't think I want to. I don't think you can make me. I don't think you can make me. Protruding chin?
Huh?
Yeah, look, bro, you gotta be kidding me. I am perplexed at the disconnect between their tone of voice and the specifics of the order. Fight against all remaining units of my model type. Destroy every last one of
The
them.
fear impulse and self-preservation instinct seem to be the key to activating a persona. This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress.
Stress? Come on, you don't have to go this far.
Huh? Well, that's a first. None of them have ever protested like that. Well, at least that's a sign that its ego is developing.
You told me it was over. I thought I wouldn't have to do these things anymore.
You.
Ain't there some other way? If there is, please, let me do that instead. I don't want to fight him anymore.
The three researchers look at me with apparent surprise on their faces. Did my protest get through to them? I hope so, but...
That's a surprise. Such natural speech patterns. I hadn't thought its personality would develop this fast.
All the data's being recorded now. Let's compare them and look at which stages they improve at.
They smile while muttering to themselves. I am at a complete loss for words. They are not machines but humans, and on top of that, they are my creators. Surely they are able to understand what I'm saying, yet their current expressions. Until now, I thought they were understanding people who treated us as close to human. I was wrong. I am only an object to them. No matter what I say, they will see it only as a response to stimulus. Behind their gentle attitudes were nothing more than test subjects they hold. Blah! Behind their gentle attitudes, we are nothing more than test subjects they hold no emotional attachment to. They do not focus on what I am saying. They are only interested in it as a reaction. This reminds me of one of my favorite anime arcs of all time, from Railgun. If you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna say anything, but it reminds me of that arc a lot. And that's like genuinely top 5 favorite arcs out of any show I've ever watched in my life. Top 5 favorite arcs. I love that arc so much. I almost started bashing Index. I'm not about to get into that. The researchers ignore my stunned silence and hastily leave the chamber. Their figures are hidden behind the hatch. Soon, with a terrible low-pitched sound, the hatch on the other side begins to open, right where the opponents come through. I'll be forced to fight again today and in the days to come. I must continue to destroy my opponents each time. I cannot find the words I want to say. I slowly turn my head towards the hatch, but what I see there truly leaves me at a loss for words. Don't tell me it's 24.
No.
Tripping. You tripping. Oh my goodness. Well, I saw this coming. I predicted this. Masterful gambit, Atlas. Masterful gambit. No, I saw this coming. I'm playing. You already made the game. I can't fight this. I have to let this happen. The opponent emerging from the hatch is 24. There is no smile or sadness on her face. She is quietly standing there expressionless. 24 steps into the chamber while gazing at my face. The hatch slowly closes behind her.
No. Why?
Even I do not know who the question is addressed to. Why is she here? Because she was ordered. Do I have to fight her now? It is not quite sinking in yet, but in a sharp tone I have never heard from her before, she tells me what I must do.
Draw your weapon.
I can't.
If you don't fight, you'll lose. I will end up destroying you. Are you willing to accept that?
Why? Why are you saying this stuff?
24 ignores my question and reaches behind her back with her right hand. The multi-use weapon unit releases from her back. It becomes a great sword in her right hand. It is approximately 1.5 meters as long as she is tall. It is also alarmingly wide and fitted with propulsion devices. Ow. It is difficult to process seeing the weapon pointed at me.
If you fear being destroyed, If you have a heart capable of fear, then there's no need to hesitate. That alone gives you the right to attack me with all your strength.
24 fears being destroyed. Labrys fears destroying. This is just... 24 has the advantage here. What?
But doesn't the same go for you?
I cannot help but plead. 24 does not answer, but it appears that a very small smile forms on her lips.
You said there was someone you wanted to meet. I can't fight you knowing that.
I turn and appeal to the researchers watching us from the other side of the glass
Come
wall.
on! Stop this! I don't want to fight anymore!
I press against a transparent wall and continuously strike it with my fist. Though my safety limiters are disabled, it must be coated with something I cannot even scratch it. The researchers standing on the other side are completely expressionless. It is as if they are machines themselves. I beg and plead, but they do not respond. If only there wasn't this clear glass wall between us. I'm so frustrated. Why? I then hear 24 speak up weakly behind
Only
me.
one of us can exit this chamber.
That's why they have the rule in the tournament. Only one can leave.
Huh?
They never told you, since you were strong enough, that battles never lasted very long. But that's the rule of this place. The only time the door leading beyond that transparent wall opens is when one of us is considered unable to fight. From the start, this whole setup never took our feelings into account.
I say nothing. I can say nothing. I can see from her words what atrocious battles were forced upon her.
But talking like this is a waste of time. I can see I won't spur you into fighting with just words alone.
As soon as she finishes, 24 leaps into the air, swinging her sword at me. I quickly jump back and barely dodge the attack. My lord! Her sword Her sword slashes the space where I had been at a speed. Oh my goodness! Where I had been at a speed that could have killed me. Hold on. Let me turn this music up. The tips grazes the chamber floor. Red sparks fly. She is serious. It finally sinks in. I jump away to put distance between us.
I don't intend to meekly accept my destruction. I have my own goal, after all. Now, fight me.
I have no choice but to fight. But a thought crosses my mind. In terms of basic combat strength, mine is probably higher. Using my usual tactics, I should be able to destroy her weapon and disable enough of her servos to prevent her from attacking. 24's ego is without a doubt more highly developed than mine. It must be of value to the researchers. If I can render her incapable of acting, I may be able to avoid the order to destroy her when she is down. I decide to bet on that possibility. One thing I did notice is this, right? I'm seeing a theme with Labrys. How everyone she defeats, she ends up sort of carrying their soul or their will with her into the future, right? And it's very similar to what they were doing in the other routes, where, you know, Narukami would beat Chie, so Chie would be like, alright, Narukami, you defeated me, I have to stay here, you get to move on, so I'm going to leave you with my will to fight, you know? Like, you have to fight extra hard for me, so that my loss isn't in vain. And they're really, like, they're paralleling that, you know? Labrys has been doing the same thing, even though she hasn't really fully realized that yet. She's been carrying the will of all the models that she's destroyed, the units. I shift my priorities and fight back with all my strength. I cannot do this empty-handed. I remove my own multi-function weapon from my back and shape it into a battle axe. Ooh. It pains me to do this, but it is the only way. I repel 24's persistent sword strikes and go for a counterattack. I aim for the great sword's clasp with my battle axe. After a number of hits, it shatters. My next target is the transmission system for her shoulder and knee joints. In terms of output and movement itself, I detect various differences between us. Amongst those of my unit type, I awakened latest. Compared to 24, Not only my personality module, but my limbs as well have been upgraded to the latest versions. It is only a matter of time. 24 loses virtually all offensive capabilities and falls to the floor. As I planned, 24 is mostly undamaged, apart from her weapon and motor functions. I immediately turned towards the researchers behind their invisible wall and raised my voice.
Isn't this enough? She had that ego thing way before me. Destroying her won't do anyone any good. Come on. Have a heart.
You're telling human beings to have a heart. You're asking a little too much. You've got the bar a bit too high there, Labrys. But hearing this, the researchers only laugh. See? See what I'm saying? Their faces are as joyous as when they see results that surpass their expectations. Why? What in the situation could cause such joy? 24's body, collapsed on the floor, suddenly begins to convulse. This is disturbing. It goes still for a few seconds, then although it should not be able to move, it drags itself up.
Huh? What the?
Oh, she's turned black. That is screeching my ears. I don't like it. Stop that sound. Unpleasant metallic sounds are coming from all over her body. It indicates that she's under...
My bad.
You good. Unpleasant metallic sounds are coming from all over her body. It indicates that she is undergoing unreasonable stress. Still, no expression appears on 24's face. It is a cold, doll-like void. It is similar in appearance to a newly activated unit. I know as soon as I look at her, she would never make a face like this on her own.
What did you do to her?
It'll be coming at you with everything it has now. You better not hold back either. Number 024 had an excellent record against others of its model. Even you might have a hard time beating this one, Labrys.
I unconsciously find myself biting my lip. We are weapons. In other words, we are tools. Of course, there would be a means to issue orders remotely. I recall what the one researcher said. This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress. In other words, the more strongly I desire 24's survival, the stronger my reaction will be when I'm forced to destroy her. That is why they laughed. I can sense the strength draining from my shoulders. There is nothing more I can attempt. All I can do is end her. Yo. Koetsu Kirijo, that's his name? Mitsuru's granddad? Mitsuru's grandpapa? He is burning in hell right now. Whatever he's being tortured with in the deep, dark, fiery pits, he probably deserves it. He needs to be thrown into an edgy, unnecessarily dark revenge manga as an antagonist. That's the fate he deserves right there. That's the fate he deserves. Because this man here, oh my goodness, all these researchers need to be handled. I'm really hoping that at the end of Labrys' story, she kills all of these researchers. I want that. I need that. I desire that. I'm begging for that. Because that's exactly what they deserve. They deserve nothing better. They deserve nothing more merciful than that. Behind me, 24, or rather her animated shell, approaches me, its limbs shaking. I suppress all thoughts unrelated to tactics and slowly turn around. My body goes cold. My arms move into position as if controlled by someone else and ready my weapon. She in Orgia mode. I'm sorry. It was not a close fight. Once I decided to finish this, once I was resolved to stop her, 24, as she is now, stood no chance against me. I fall to my knees next to 24. Her limbs have been shattered. She will never rise again. My processors are overloaded with things I cannot understand. I feel as if all processing has slowed. 24's face is turned to the ceiling.
Are you not gonna look at me anymore? You're not gonna smile again?
I did not expect her to respond, but 24's face moved slightly. I stare at her without knowing how to react. She turns her gaze to me and smiles.
I'm sorry to leave you alone. I leave the rest to you.
Those were the last words she spoke. I can't believe this. There's a smile on 24's dead face. She is smiling at the one who destroyed her and robbed her of her dream. All at once, everything hits me in a torrent of emotion and data. I've lost her. I did it. I took everything from her. My vision begins to fade. My thoughts go with it. I cannot determine whether the lights are actually dimming or if it is only my perception. It is too much to handle. I collapse to the ground helplessly like a crumbling statue. The next time I awaken, I am lying inside a cage. It seems I was carried out of the test chamber. The download of 24's feedback data is about to begin. The researchers seem to have taken my sudden loss of consciousness seriously. I am confined in a cage instead of sitting in the usual maintenance chair. The researchers kept repeating the word interesting. So this is how they react when extreme mental stress is induced. I can hear their voices clearly. They seem to derive pleasure from the fact that I lost consciousness due to mental stress, rather than physical damage. Cables are connected to my body one after another. The data download begins. All of 24's information, combat data, various records, and the memories she experienced, all of it flows into me. My eyes widen in surprise. Everything is so vibrant. It is so clear that it is indistinguishable from actually experiencing them. This is the first time I have received memories with such vivid images. All of the images are linked to records of the emotions she felt in relation to them. They are so strongly linked that my screening protocols cannot distinguish them from human thought. The outdoor area where we spent time, the big tree whose branches we examined, the sound of the water we heard periodically, Snowy running around and playing. As I relive 24's experiences, I pick up on an unfamiliar voice. There is no associated image data. Only the voice can be heard. It is a female voice. There is a female researcher at this facility, but this voice belongs to a younger person, still in human developmental stages.
I know the world is a big place. And I know that there's a lot of people in it, but I won't be able to see it for myself, or meet many of them. I know that too. I'm too weak for that.
Her speech is different from the researchers and those of my unit type. It is very similar to my own speech
Thinking
output.
about it has made me sad more than once. But I didn't want to do nothing and be left with regrets. That was when my mom and dad looked into some options. And we decided to go with this experiment. If even a sick girl like me could make herself useful to others in this world, I thought I ought to go for it.
Who could this be? I know only that she is female. She is in a situation where her condition prevents her from moving freely. It seems that instead of lamenting that fact, she has decided to volunteer for an experiment of some kind. Where did 24 hear this voice? Did she know this person? I wish I could ask her, but it is no longer possible.
At first, I kept wondering how much I could really contribute. But after hearing more and more about the program, I started to wonder about the others more than myself.
Others, it is strange. But when I hear that, I feel 24's heart waver. Was she surprised? Perhaps even I feel something unexplainable.
Yeah, my big wish is to make myself useful to this world. But the ones born from me... Is born the right word for it? Kind of embarrassing. My other wish is that the ones born from me are happy. I doubt I'll be able to talk to him in person or stay with them, but I still wish from the bottom of my heart that they all have happy lives.
I just thought about it. They talk about personality modules, right? Are they made from like actual real life people? And that is terrible. Oh my goodness. If that's the case, not only would that explain so much about Labrys and this scene right here, but man, they had to go. They had to go. Thank goodness for that explosion. All of them had to go. They all needed to get out of there. My lord. Hey, Mitsuru, you got mad sins to what's it called? You got a lot of sins on your back. Your grandparent, your granddad, they put a lot on your shoulders. People's voices have unique characteristics. In the past, I would have expressed it as a variance in waveform, but each has what could be called its own texture and temperature to it. This voice sounds very warm and kind. I would like to listen to more of it, but the speech ends there. There are no more related memories from 24. While the cables disconnect, I decide to search the archives for results matching that voice. Sadly, there are no results, but during the search I suddenly remember something. The archive given to me by 24 last night. I quickly open the folder and find a single text file inside.
If you are reading this, then I have most likely been destroyed. It may be that you already understand the concept of guilt, but you have done nothing wrong.
If you are still safe when everything is over, she must have meant if I defeated her in combat. 24 knew what would happen to those who lost in the trial. What emotions was she feeling then? What was going through her mind as she prepared this file? I feel something wrench in my chest.
I happened to access certain data during the feedback treatment and learned something. Artificially creating a personality from scratch is very difficult, though they hope to achieve it in 2 generations. But those of our model were actually made from the template of a certain girl's personality. That includes you and I. She had left a recording for the units created using her personality. A message for those of us who did not yet exist. That's what I heard. She speaks in a strange way, like you. I thought, we really are connected to her.
I think about that unknown voice. The experiment the voice spoke of was related to our development after all. The owner of that voice was speaking to us.
The one who gave birth to us loved us. When I understood that, I felt like my eyes were opened. Though my life was filled with suffering, my birth had meaning. I firmly believe that. I want to meet her. I need to tell her thank you for giving birth to us and for loving us. This was not an order from the scientists. It was an objective I made for myself. So if you can understand my feelings, I'd like you to do this in my stead. Give our mother my thanks.
Oh my goodness. This is heartbreaking. How 24 must have felt to meet How 24 must have wanted to meet this girl who she saw as our mother. She must have longed to thank the girl in person. The data within me, her heart tells me so. During the time when she was ordered to destroy her sisters, this wish must have been her only hope. Yet it did not come true. I shattered it. The one she herself said was the only thing who understood her. She must have been devastated. But the letter ends in the way I least expected.
Though we knew each other for only a short time, I'm glad I met you. I feel the same right now as our mother did. I wish from the depths of my heart for you to be happy.
You're trying to make me cry. It is not gonna happen. You're not gonna make me cry. I've been ragging on this game since Saturday. I've been ragging on this game since Saturday, and I am not about to let it make me cry. No. I'm shocked. How can she feel that way towards someone who may one day destroy her? I realized then that the visual input from my optics experiencing distortion for some unknown reason. An unfamiliar source of water trickles down my cheek.
Labrys, is she crying?
So she is. I can't believe we're actually seeing a machine being driven to tears.
But its mental graphs are clearly abnormal. What kind of information did it download?
Who knows? That's one thing the graphs can't tell us.
We should take care to limit our studies to just the battle data. It doesn't need any sentimental memories. You can delete those. Why make a weapon so emotional that it can cry?
Heartful cry. Okay. I was gonna say, hold on. I recognize his banger. Delete them. Yeah, don't let them delete them. You better handle this. Delete them. Something roars within me. It drowns out the feelings for 24 and our mother that had filled my heart.
Delete! Like hell you're deleting my memories!
Under no circumstances will I allow what 24 left me to be deleted for their convenience. I will not forgive this selfishness. We have been treated callously by the researchers in this laboratory. They gave us hearts, yet made us destroy those of our own unit type as enemies. We killed our sisters at their command. If we refused, our desires were overridden and we became their puppets. The wishes of the girl who desired our happiness were not taken into consideration. Now even the few memories at 24 my sisters and I have accumulated are about to be erased like trash. Though their aim is to develop our ego, they find it inconvenient for us to have real hearts. These feelings within me may be erased, perhaps too my heart itself. If that happens, will I resume killing my sisters without hesitation? What is least forgivable is that the proof that 24 had lived. Her last wishes will be permanently lost. My hands are squeezed into tight fists. They make a small grinding noise. The goal that 24 found for herself was left to me. I will carry it out as my own now. I will burn it into my heart as my goal. It is a duty I impose on myself gladly. Nothing will make me surrender it. It must be fought for. Or rather, it must be protected, even if it means fighting.
What the? Its emotions are spiking into the red. I've never seen anything like this.
Hey, what's that warning? No. Labrys is in battle mode?
What? That can't be. There aren't any enemies. We're the only ones here.
You're the enemies! I am able to release all my limiters despite being inside the cage. The researchers monitoring me on their tablet PC seem perplexed and alarmed by this. They should be. They're witnessing an override of the principle of non-aggression towards humans. They're flustered and too panicked to speak clearly as they announce that an emergency has occurred. One of them steps away from the cage I am in and reaches for a switch with warning labels around it. Suddenly, restraints appear to bind my limbs.
Are you saying those mental fluctuations were enough to override the OS's restrictions?
That plume's playing pranks on us. Hey, hurry up and delete those memories.
These memories in my heart are not unnecessary.
What do you think we are?
Something I have not felt until now. A sensation like heat spreads throughout my body. A trembling, burning wave rises within me. Soon afterward, I realize that this is an emotion. There is a name for this feeling. It is anger. I reroute all my strength into my restrained limbs. The restraints are designed to withstand up to twice our calculated maximum output. Trying to escape is therefore logically doomed to failure. Even so, I continue to muster my strength. It is not because I judge it a viable course of action. I am not merely executing an order. I am acting based on my emotions. It does not matter if the restraints can be destroyed or not. I wish to destroy them. The metal parts in both my limbs and the restraints begin to creep.
How's it doing that? There's no way those things are strong enough to break the restraints.
It's outputting over 220% of its theoretical strength limit, even though its joint actuators are operating at only 70% capacity.
That's not possible. That doesn't even make any sense. What's driving this thing?
I'm not gonna let you take those memories! I made her a promise!
Kill them, Labrys! The next moment, a rupturing sound like a small explosion shakes the entire room. The heavy metallic band surrounding my arms and legs shatter. I jump out of the cage and run towards the open door. I must escape from here. I have to get out and see the girl who loved us, though we are not yet created. To fulfill 24's wish, which has now become mine. But when I enter the hallway, the outdoor area, I am met with barricades and heavy. I am met with barricades and heavy artillery.
Oh, come on! I ain't even got any projectile weapons!
That ain't fair! My sister Eunice and I have never been equipped with firearms. I recall it being due to concerns over a unit's mentality affecting the accuracy of its aim. Instead, we were given short-range weaponry, a chain arm and other implements in my case, but they are not sufficient to deal with the range of firearms. However, I do have a countermeasure. Using the flexibility and adapting to situations of my developed mind, I dodge the complex projectile trajectories and destroy the opposition. Eventually, I reach the end of the hallway and exit to the outdoor area. I have not seen this environment before. The trees are the same species as those that grow near the facility, but these species are much larger. Where am I? The question did not cross my mind until now. Where am I? Where are we? I cannot use the GPS that should be installed in me. It seems the research facility blocks GPS signals outside of its walls. This is probably to prevent its location from being pinpointed. Is there anything in the environment that can help me determine my location? The blue sky that I'm seeing for the first time is stunning but irrelevant. Then I notice a periodic sound of liquid in the distance. That is the sound of the ocean. The answer came easily to mind. One of my sisters must have taken an interest in it and learned what it was. My sisters are helping to keep me alive now. When I think of it that way, a burning feeling rises from deep within my chest. But none of what I see in my surroundings is helpful. Is there anything else by which I can determine my location? Any landmarks or signposts? I scan my surroundings while running past. These trees obstructing my view. They are a unique species. That may be a hint. I review the tree's characteristics once more and run another search on them. I attempted this once already, but there is so much more data available to me now. Once again, results come easily. This variety of tree is known as cedar. It is found in many habitats, but the cedars here are unique. The tree's shape and its age implies it's so different that it is nearly a separate species. If that is because of differences in environment, it may be useful in determining my location. That's when an unfamiliar sound reaches my ears. The heavy rumble of what sounds like a motor. It seems they had dispatched a vehicle to pursue me. I expected this. Their response was swift. It seems they had measures in place in the event one of us escaped. When the vehicle stops behind me, 4 fully armed personnel pour out of it. They move to surround me from both left and right. It is an obvious response. No matter how much power I have, I am alone. The optimal solution would be to overwhelm me with numbers. I try to shake them off by going faster. But soon afterwards, I reach the main gate of the laboratory, a high steel edifice. It is tightly sealed. A number of heavily armed guards are protecting it. I stop. There is nowhere else to go.
Labrys, come back here! You're too useful a unit to destroy! You need to get back here to be regulated! That's your role in all this!
I cannot be destroyed here. I cannot be captured either. They will surely delete my memories. They will take my wish and everything else that was given to me. What purpose even is there in avoiding destruction if that is what awaits me? The only options available are whether my wish dies with me or whether it is stolen away.
I'm gonna let you destroy me. And not just because I don't want to be destroyed.
The moment I focus my concentration to remove the limiters on my onboard weaponry, I sense an unknown strength rise within me. Directly afterwards, something that cannot be quantified fills my body and the surrounding area.
What the?
The The pursuit vehicle suddenly stops. The research staff gets off, one after another shot.
This reading! Is it on the verge of a persona reaction?
Shit, it's awakened? Ah, damn it, why now?
Well, at least this proves that mental stress is the key to activating a persona.
Who cares about that right now? It's not fully awakened yet, but with it still unstable, we don't know what it's capable of.
I am intrigued by their statements.
Persona?
I knew that we had the means, but I was not aware of controlling anything. I do not know if it can be called a power, nor do I know how to use it. But I can tell that the others are afraid. I seize the opportunity and run toward the main gate. There's a slight possibility that I can reach the door without attracting any gunfire, and vault over the door with my legs and chain arm. The moment I reach the gate, I launch my chain arm towards the upper threshold of the door. But the moment my arm grabs the ledge, something emerges. A much greater power touches the door as well. Suddenly, the door crumples like paper and a large hole forms on the upper half.
Now it's done it!
We need to hurry! If it's that strong already, we won't be able to stop it once its persona completely awakens!
That's... persona.
But I quickly regain my senses. I burst out of the facility and single-mindedly jump outside. Go on, Labrys, come on! My feet touch the ground of the outside world for the first time. They will most likely not let me escape. Fortunately, the door is badly damaged. It should take time until it can be opened enough for vehicles to pass through. I need to gain as much distance as possible. Distance and time as possible, and then... It is then that I realize I do not have a destination in mind. Who is the girl 24 wished to see? Where can I go meet her? The only clue I have is the idiosyncrasies in the girl's speech. I have learned that distinct speech patterns are often associated with specific regions. I should begin by traveling to where that style of speech is common. It is reckless, but I feel confident. At the very least, I can get closer to the girl that I am now. Although, the situation is dire and I am under pursuit, internally I am cheerful. There is a bounce in my step. For some reason, I cannot remain calm. I'm cheering for you, Labrys. I'm cheering for you, Labrys. Just then, 5 meters ahead, something white and fluffy crosses my path. It is Snowy. It notices me and approaches. I am worried about my pursuers, but I cannot dismiss 24's beloved Snowy. I lower my speed and run with it. I then notice the scenery we are passing has calmed. My surroundings are very different now. The blue skies that was previously obstructed by the trees is now clearly visible. The green grass is shining vibrantly in the light of the sun. And there is a deeper blue than the sky ahead. Many lines of light run across it.
Is that the ocean?
Snowy barks as if in answer. I feel it is saying that's right. I could not previously comprehend Snowy. I did not have an interest in trying. But now I can grasp what Snowy is saying, as if I could speak its own language. I know that it feels happy to be able to run with me. I feel as though 24 is inside me. Though we were forced apart, she certainly left me many things. Not only her wish, but other things as well.
Well, I'll find her come hella high water. Are you with me, Snowy?
Snowy barks energetically. I respond with thanks and a smile. 24 and Snowy are encouraging me. Though I do not have any clues, I will find her, no matter what happens or how long it takes. I search my current location once more. Now that I am further from the research facility, I can use my GPS to triangulate my position. But, on seeing the results, I cannot help but stop running. Snowy stomps a little further ahead, then returned to me. My current location is Yakushima, within the Kagoshima Prefecture. It is a remote island far from shore.
No.
The island's perimeter is only 132 kilometers. In such a limited area, it'll be a matter of time before a full-scale manhunt apprehends me. The research facility must have been built on an island in anticipation of such situations. Even if someone were to escape the facility, the island's geography would contain them. It is essentially a natural prison. I do not want to believe it. but my hope was meticulously strangled before it was born. However, I cannot wait here to be captured. I begin running again. Though it is expected from my position data and map, I immediately reach the ocean.
So, this is the ocean. Ha! It's so huge. I can't see anything out there at all.
This is just like when we first met Aigis, kind of. I look at the glistening surface of the ocean reflect the sun. I look at the glistening surface of the ocean reflect the sun's light and ponder its beauty. I am at a loss. Though I knew it would come to this, I could not stand idle. Despite this, my feelings sank. Snowy looks up at me from time to time as I stop running and begin walking. His gesture of concern forces me to smile and tell it that I am alright. The forest becomes a grove, the trees grow sparser. A blue ocean and a sandy soil leading up to it spread before my eyes. I check my map again. This is not an uninhabited island. There is a means for people to come and go, but I doubt that I will be able to use those methods freely without arousing any suspicion. I gaze down at my own hand. It is completely unlike a human hand. It is an object sculpted from metal.
Well, that's a problem. What should I do?
My question seems to dishearten Snowy.
Come on, don't give me that look. Ah, well. Maybe it's my fault for getting so frustrated. Sorry, Pooch.
Just as I'm about to crouch and pat Snowy's head, Snowy moves as if avoiding
Snowy?
me. Snowy circles around behind me and growls towards the way we just came. I train my sensors in that direction and sense presences in the distance. They may be keeping their distance on purpose. Since I have no firearms, they must understand that their effective range exceeds mine.
Looks like they're coming.
Amongst the human soldiers are a number of my sister units. Is it possible that I can convince them not to fight me? I dismiss the idea as hopeless. Though they may have awakened to their ego, after my escape they will be under their commander's control. Even if that is not the case, they may think that their orders are absolute just as I once did.
Knowing why they're here doesn't make it any easier to deal with them.
It does not seem as if they will attack me all at once. They must understand that I am already at the ocean and have nowhere to escape. I do not want to surrender, but I am frustrated by my powerlessness to be caught like this. I have my own mission to accomplish. The ocean sparkles. The periodic sound of water I once heard from afar echoes from it. As I gaze at the clear water while it ebbs and flows, a mysterious feeling rises in me.
Wow. Look at that. It's beautiful.
My opponents show no indication of moving. I step out onto the sand after cataloging that sensation. I approach the pier, stretching into the ocean. When I step onto it, the wooden planks creak. I can hear Snowy's light tread behind me as well. I stand at the end of the pier and look out to the ocean. I wonder if she is beyond this ocean that seems to stretch forever. The girl 24 wanted to meet. The girl that I wish to meet as well. This mother figure who loved us and wished for our happiness. When my thoughts turn to the girl whose face I do not know, I decide to preserve the ocean's beauty in my memory. After all, it may be the last time I will be able to see the ocean as myself. The odds are high that when I am restrained and return to the facility, my memories will be wiped. I am scared. I am frustrated. I do not want to be erased. But I do not think all my hopes are lost yet. This may be the end of me. But just as I inherited the memories of 24 and other units, my memories will surely endure into the next generation. So I will keep these feelings along with this beautiful ocean scene, deep within the origin of my heart. There it cannot be erased or tampered with. The blue sky and ocean, the shining sun and glittering water, and the gentle breeze and calm sounds of the waves. The scenery from this pier is so stunning that it is unimaginable from inside the research facility. I am glad that the last place I see is so beautiful. With the ocean before me, I speak to any sisters that I have yet to meet. It might be called a type of prayer.
To all the ones I'll never meet, but will receive my memories.
My emotions race ahead of my thoughts. I cannot find the right words to
There's
say.
so much I want to say to you that I don't know where to start.
I close my eyes again and calm my heart. To my descendants whom I will probably never meet. If you find someone precious to you as I did with 24 and wish to meet them, may you meet them here. May you go beyond this pier to places I could not.
I just pray from the bottom of my heart that everyone can find happiness. As long as that happens, I don't mind if I...
Even though my wish may not come true, I'm still satisfied if I can entrust it to someone I believe in. 24 says something along those
Could
lines.
this be it?
Snowy rubs against my leg. Is it warning me to be cautious of my pursuers who have arrived and are coming closer? Or does it only want me to pet it? I look closely and realize that it is a ladder. It must be worried. I crouch down and scratch Snowy's
Hey,
head.
Snowy. You think this is what it means to feel alive?
Snowy looks at me while wagging its tail. I pick up Snowy and gently hug it. Snowy shows no signs of resistance and allows me to do so. My pursuers are closing in now, but I will not run anymore. It is true that I am still frustrated, but it is strange. I am also satisfied. Snowy licks my
Thanks.
cheeks.
I'll be okay now. Things are about to get hairy, so you should hurry and get out of here.
I let Snowy go, but it does not leave
Come
me.
on. If you don't go, it'll make things hard on me. Okay?
Snowy looks at my face for a while. Eventually it droops its head and walks off. Snowy looks back several times, but soon disappears into the tall grass. My relief is cut short by 5 armed humans pointing their guns at me. I have no intention of resisting. I smile at them. Though it was only for a short while I lived. I felt the happiness of passing down my wish. It was only for a brief moment in time, but I may have granted the wish of the girl who was our mother. I allow myself to be restrained without resistance. They take me back to the laboratory. I was so absorbed in my escape attempt that I did not notice the severe damage I inflicted upon the facility. It seemed that the delicate machinery used to tamper with my memories is in no condition to be used.
Damn it! Look at this mess! Going after humans? Oh, I bet the girl they used as a template for this model was a snotty brat too. Even if we delete its memories, it'll be too dangerous to keep using this unit.
There are so many things about it I want to research, though.
It's not worth the risks. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon will be sealed indefinitely once it's fully restrained again.
The voice is the last thing I hear before my consciousness is cut off. It's a shame she didn't kill them. I really wanted them to be killed.
Huh?
My consciousness should have been shut down, but I have
This
awakened.
place. It's that ocean.
I am on that pier, the blue sky and ocean, the shining sun and glittering water, and the gentle breeze and calm sounds of the waves. Even Snowy is next to me. The scene is identical to the one from before, though this time I sensed no pursuers. I was captured. I remember that clearly. This is obviously an abnormal situation, at odds with my memories. But the clear blue sky and ocean is still so beautiful that I cannot help but gaze at them. If only I could go beyond it. Just as a thought crosses my mind, my viewpoint ascends. Soon afterwards, I realize that I am floating as if my body is weightless. I am astonished at myself to be thinking such strange things. But then my field of vision drifts and I turn my attention to that. The scenery I knew already begins to mix with other environments I did not know. They become connected, continuous images, and pass like a slideshow. From time to time I pass through the drifting images, but I cannot grasp anything within those spaces. Even when they are about to collide with me, they pass right through. Could this be dreaming? I remember something I once heard from a researcher at the facility. They said that it is possible for us to dream since we have a mind and may develop an ego. Though it would not technically be identical to a human's dream, the phenomenon would be very similar. I feel that the example the researcher gave of what a dream is like matches my current experience. If I'm having a dream, then things that are not possible in reality may be possible here. For example, if I can leave this island, if I can go beyond the ocean. The girl at 24 and I wanted to meet said that even though she knows the world is big, she would not be able to see it for herself. What could that have meant? Was she in a place that limited her world as I was unable to leave this island? Just when it seems the images flowing around me have stopped, I found myself in an unknown room. There is a bed here. Next to it is a flat screen monitor. There is also white shelves surrounding the bed. To one side is a stand for an intravenous drip. There is a machine connected to it by cords. Though it is small, it appears to function as life sign monitors. This is similar to a research facility. Could it be a hospital? The voices that sound from somewhere belong to a man and a woman. I have not heard these voices before.
She said during this morning's checkup that she wanted to go to school. She asked how much better she needs to get to be able to go.
Understandable. This ward is right near the road most of the students take. She must have been lonely too, not having seen her parents lately. How much better she needs to get. She still doesn't know that her condition is incurable.
Why don't you be honest with her and tell her she won't ever be able to go? It's cruel to string her along like this.
If it's incurable, then just let her do what she wants until she dies.
Shh, keep your voice down. Her room's next door.
I understand at once that these people are speaking of the girl I wish to meet. The scene feels as if it comes from my own memory. I do not doubt it at all. The girl is suffering from some kind of illness. She may not be able to go outside. Her condition prevents her from leaving her small world. Her life is like ours. Could the girl have heard this conversation? How did it make her feel to hear it? I want to spend more time in the outside world. I want to live a normal life. The thoughts that come to my mind are not my own.
I wonder if the nurses thought things like the student council were too much trouble to bother with when they were in school. I don't know. It sounds fun to me.
Just as I thought, it is the girl's voice. When I listen to her, I can sense her strong yearning and admiration.
You gotta admire the student council president. I mean, they're the ones that get things done for everyone. But I guess it's because they're like that in the first place that they get to be president, huh?
The girl had a strong desire to attend school and live a normal school life with friends. As I review these voices and feelings, an interest in the school she longs for grows within me.
High school. I wonder what that's like. Would it be fun?
I wish to see for myself what she desires. Is there a specific image of it? What kind of place is it? What activities do its attendants perform while there? But there are no memories in regards to schools. That must mean that the girl had no such memories.
Figures. I don't know anything about schools or whatever else student life is like.
I want to see
I can
them.
show you if you so desire.
What? A voice answers my unspoken thought. Who could it be? I do not think I know this voice. For some reason, my mind becomes hazy. I cannot access my memories easily.
Huh? Who's there?
There's no need to be alarmed. I only want to give you a glimpse of the world you long to know.
I was under the impression that this was a dream. Dreams are supposedly a release valve for memories. Yet this voice does not feel like a part of me. Is that even possible? As I ponder these things, the scenery around me changes completely. I first see a 3-story concrete building. I do not know this building. As I examine it, my surroundings change again. The same desks and chairs are lined up. In front of me is a dark green rectangular board on a wall.
Is this a school? A real classroom?
This is the place the girl wished to see. It is here that I have gained an interest in. I find myself forgetting that this is a dream and focus my senses to the desks and chairs. I then realize that I can move around at will, just as when I felt my body rise at the beach.
So this is where classes happen.
I feel a sudden excitement.
What do the students do when there aren't any classes? Do they just talk and stuff?
The mysterious voice doesn't answer. Instead, I'm surrounded by other sounds. Many voices are talking at once. It reminds me of the sound of waves near the ocean. But the sound is lively and enjoyable. The voices belong to boys and girls surrounding a desk. They are laughing and talking. They wear common clothing, though there are some differences. These may be uniforms. It's interesting to see that each person's uniform is distinct in some way. That student is the only one with something around his neck. The girl with the short hair and a green jacket raises her right hand. Next to her, with long black hair wearing a red jacket, she smiles. There is a well-built young man with strange spiky hair. In contrast to him, I can see a small, delicate, intellectual-looking young man. Last, I see a young man with a calm demeanor sitting at his desk. The front of his uniform is open, his white shirt is showing. They seem to be talking about something. I cannot quite discern what it is. This scene proceeds to show various points in a normal school day. Classes, activities, clubs, student council. It looks like so much fun that I can feel the excitement. But then I remember, this is all just a dream. I am only dreaming. No matter how much I want it, there will never be a day when I can attend school for myself. All the scenes that I saw centered around the young man and his friends, I will never join their circle. I cannot go to school. I am not even human. I consider this self-evident truth once again. Though I look human, I am a machine made by humans. It does not matter how close my heart is to that of a human, or how much my ego develops. This mechanical body can never truly be human. Just as our mother could not overcome the obstacle of her illness no matter how she wished for it, I cannot overcome the obstacle of being a machine. It is futile for someone who cannot become human to yearn for a normal human life. There is a strange sensation somewhere in my chest that feels like pain. Still, although I am a machine created as a weapon, that girl loved me. What if there are other people like her who could understand me? Would I then be able to find a place to belong among them? But
you'll never find a place where you belong.
Oh.
Humans created you as a tool. They would never think of you as anything more.
That's mean.
Everyone, to a man, lives by averting their eyes from something inside them. They all wish to live inside a never-ending dream. For who has the right to say they shouldn't?
For just a moment, I sensed an incongruity in the kind voice. The strange pain in my body softened.
There are even humans who do not understand others' feelings. Still others do understand, and trample upon them regardless. Compared to them, you are much more human.
I remember the researchers. They certainly did not understand me, 24 or my sisters. We were treated only as objects, even after they tried to give us a heart.
Why not then seek to be human?
Me? Be a human?
The voice whines gently inside my mind. I feel my body is growing uneasily light, as if the world is spinning around me.
People sort through their memories in dreams. Each night they let go of painful memories and continue their lives with the morning sun. That's all you need do. Forget anything contrary to your desires.
If I forget...
Do not fear the act of letting go. The ones you admire wished only for you to be happy.
My mind seizes upon something, that precious wish, the desire given to me to meet our mother someday and tell her thank you. I must not forget that. But as long as this wish is precious to me, as long as I cannot erase it from my heart, the fact that I am not human will remain.
And I too. All I wish from the depths of my heart is for you to find joy.
Who are you?
Happiness.
I think back.
I wish from the depths of my heart for you to be happy.
I remember the girl who wished for our happiness. I want to grant that wish. I want to tell her thank you, but that will be difficult for me now. In which case, Should I not at least seize this opportunity and be happy here for her sake?
Forget. And be happy.
My vision goes dark. The sounds I heard fade away. I feel as if I am falling.
Everything is now in readiness.
Who are you? Rubber. Okay. We've got, apparently there's 9 scenes. We've got 2 more before it's over. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Whether the flowers forget what they... I don't know the lyrics past that. When I open my eyes, I'm staring at a wood grain board. It is the surface of a desk. I quickly raise my hand. It looks like I fell asleep in class. My sleeve was pressed against my forehead while I was asleep and the texture left a mark. Oh man, I hope no one sees this. I rub my forehead a little and look around the classroom. According to the clock on the wall, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. The only thing written on the blackboard is 5/1/12, Tuesday. Everything else is erased. I stretch out my arms. I feel a little tired, but I gotta stay focused. After all, I just got elected student council president in the elections a couple days ago. I have to keep in touch with what the people who voted for me want. What people want for wanting a leader. I have to keep in touch with what the people who voted for me want in a leader. Things with the student council will get pretty hectic after school. I should hurry to the council room. I stand up and open the door in the back of the class. When I enter the hallway, there's no one around. I check inside the classrooms as I go, but I still don't see anyone.
Where the heck is everyone?
That's weird. The whole school is usually rowdier than this after classes. I should hear people talking and laughing in classrooms. The teacher yelling at them to quiet down. Where's all the bustle of the students and everyone getting ready for their after-school activities? Just when I'm wondering that, I turn around and look down the way that I came.
Oh, there they are.
There's some students in the hallway. Some of them are chatting and others are coming out of the classrooms. A few of them run past me carrying their bags. Yeah, this is more like it. This is how school's supposed to be.
Hey, no running in the hallway.
The student gives me an apologetic smile, but he just waves to me as he zooms down the stairs.
You'll put your eye out if you don't look where you're going. Oh well, I just gotta clamp down on him more from now on.
I put my hands on my hips and sigh.
Hey there, Miss President.
Don't talk to me!
Are you off to the student council room? Have fun.
Hang yourself.
You're always so excited about that.
Bye, Miss President. See you next Monday.
I hope I never see you again. Everyone walking down the hallway talks to me. I wave back to them. I always had a lot of friends and people who knew me, but ever since I got elected student council president, all the students seem to know who I am. The job comes with a lot of pressure, but I know I'm up for it. I'm gonna be busier than ever around school now. I did have my doubts, but in the end, I'm glad I ran for student council president.
Yeah, I did the right thing. I did.
I head to the student council room. Your affection. Time flies as I go over my agenda. Before I know it, there's red light pouring in from the west window. It's already sundown.
Whew. Guess that's enough for today.
There's no one else left in the student council room. I had the others go home before it got too late. But when I said that if they pushed themselves too much at the start, they'd burn out quick, they just laughed and said, "Same goes for you." I leave the student council room and lock it up. As I go down the hall to return the key, I see a strange woman at the far end of the hallway. She's not wearing our school's uniform. She's got on an odd hat, some gloves, and a one-piece dress. Is it Elizabeth? They're all the same deep blue color. Underneath one arm is holding an odd-looking book. I can't see her face with her back towards me, but her short, straight hair draws my attention. Her hair is as radiant silver, like if pearls were stretched out into strands.
Who in the world is that?
Maybe it's the clothes, but she gives off this strong presence. I get a little uneasy looking at her. I'm not tiptoeing or anything, but she doesn't turn around until I'm about 2 meters away. When she finally does, though, I gasp a little. Her features are so perfect, it's like she's a sculpture.
Hey, excuse me. You got some reason to be at our school? Are you sure this is how things should be? Huh?
I don't understand what she's getting at, but for some reason the question throws me.
I am a wanderer who only stopped here because I sensed great power gathering. I am in no position to give advice, but, this place will soon be caught in a bit of a fracas. If you continue to avert your eyes from everything, I think it will have an impact on your life in the near future.
My life?
What she just said sounded pretty scary. She may have some screws loose, but something is whispering to me deep in my heart, asking me, doesn't she have a point? Aren't you looking away from something important?
What you choose is up to you, but I believe there are factors preventing you from making the right choices at the moment. I couldn't bring myself to just stand by and watch as you lost your life before my eyes. That is why I was waiting here to give you one last chance.
The lady opens the thick book she's holding. I don't know how it's doing that, but light streams from the book. It gets stronger and stronger until I have to shield my eyes. The blinding light finally begins to fade a little. I slowly open my eyes. The first thing I see should have been my arm, but what I see instead is one made of metal.
Huh? What is this?
I can't believe this awkward metal arm is mine. It's like metal pipes are completely covering it. I start tugging at them to try and tear them off.
It won't come off. What gives?
It's not just my arms, my legs have changed too. Why are my arms and legs mechanical, my whole body even? I stare at my hands in confusion. These are my hands, alright. Part of me knows that and I shake my head. What am I thinking? There's no way these are my arms. It's not possible. It's not. My head hurts. What is this?
I will be your opponent for a short while.
I love Elizabeth, bro. She just pulls up and is like, you know what? I think I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. For whatever reason. I think she did this 3 times. She pulled up on Narukami like, oh, you also have the wild card. Let's see if you're as strong as Makoto. Beat the crap out of Narukami. Pulled up on Aigis like, huh? Are you really struggling with inner turmoil again? I thought you got over that in the last game. Guess I'll just beat the crap out of you. She pulls up on Labrys. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I think you're kind of deluding yourself. So I think I'll beat the crap out of you. Elizabeth is so real!
During that time, why not think back about who you are?
Huh? My opponent?
The lady takes a slightly defensive stance.
And away we go.
Oh my goodness. Elizabeth. She solves everything with violence. So goated.
Final.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I'm sorry. Elizabeth, I'm sorry. Did she turn me into a card? What did she do to me? What did she do to me? She did it again! Hold on, how do I? Let me see if I can do it, Oh, listen. Hold on. Long distance attack. A long distance attack.
Wait a minute!
See ya! Won't you have some?
See ya.
Warren, everything's The time has come. Please do.
Get away from me. Why can't I do it? Why can't I do it?
You're frozen. Close. Thanatos. Oh my. Oh no.
Oh, she doesn't know how to use a persona yet. I forgot. She doesn't have a persona. That's why.
Impressive. You have shown me your potential.
I somehow managed to beat the lady in blue who attacked me. How did I win? How did I use these metal arms and legs like it was second nature? I don't understand. The lady in blue stands before me exactly like she was when I first saw her. She's not even breathing hard.
Well done. But I'm sure you realize now, you are not human. There must have been an important promise that could only be kept in that guise. That must have been your reason for living. Whether it's worth losing that or not, I ask that you give it serious thought.
An important promise. My reason for living?
I repeat that to myself. It seems important somehow.
Now, it seems the tumult of trials is about to begin. In which case, I bid you good luck.
The thick book in her hand closes with a loud thud. Strangely, that ordinary sound lingers in my mind. When I come back to my senses, there's no one around here anymore. I take a nervous look at my arms and legs.
Nothing seems different about me.
There's no metal on my limbs now. Just ordinary skin and bones.
What the heck was that? A dream?
Yeah, what was that? Would daydream be the word for what just happened? I can't sort out my thoughts, so I think to myself. I can't let it get to me, just let it go. But some things I can't dismiss that easily. You are not human. You have an important promise which must have been your reason for living.
She said, I'm forgetting something? That I need to remember?
My head's hurting again. The pain brings back another memory. It's just for a second and I can't quite catch it. But I saw blue skies, and the ocean, and someone else was there. Maybe a white dog too, I don't know. I think there was a lot more to it, but the last voice I heard stays with me.
I mean, we're loved after all.
When I come to, my hands are balled into fists. That's when I make a decision. That promise, that reason for living, I have to hang on to it. I didn't hear them until now, but there are strange voices everywhere in the school building. Is this the tumult of trials the lady in blue mentioned? Is that really going to be a thing?
I can't just leave this be. I'm the dang student council president.
As a student council president, I have to find out what's going on in my school. I need to make sure the students aren't getting involved in anything dangerous. I start running towards the first door. And I continue the cliffhangers of Yu, Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, and Kanji. Well, what about them? Can I continue their cliffhangers? I can't. That sucks. I'm finna tell y'all right now, I'm not doing all those cliffhangers. I might do them off camera. I'm not doing them all on camera. What? If I have to do someone from P4, I guess I'll just do... I guess I'll do Narukami and maybe Naoto. But that was a really good chapter. Oh my goodness. Probably the best chapter so far. I think Naoto and Aigis are my two favorite chapters. My top three is Naoto, Mitsuru, and Aigis. But let me bring Labrys in there. I think I'd say Labrys is number 3. Aigis has to drop to number 4. Labrys had a really good chapter. Oh my goodness. No, Labrys has the best chapter. I'm just going to say that. She has the best chapter. That was the best one. Barely any fighting. And my biggest issue with the game, besides the copy paste, was the fact that it was like, it felt like there was more talking than there was fighting. But we throw me into a chapter with nothing but talking, and then one fight at the very end, and I'm like, that's the best chapter. It's crazy. But I really enjoyed this chapter. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Peace out. I love y'all. Tap into the next one. Bye bye.